Hey guys, welcome back to another As Per My Ability video. My name is Andrew Davidson. I make content here at As Per My Ability about board games, card games, and sometimes videos just about being a gamer. If you like what you see here at As Per My Ability, we always encourage you to comment, like, subscribe, and definitely hit the notification bell so you get notifications when we post new videos, because if you hit the bell, you're guaranteed 8 years good luck. But you'll never know unless if you hit the bell, so you gotta hit the bell to check it out. One final note before we move on to today's video is that over at aspermyability.com, if you check out the blog, there's been a couple of updates. I've put up some blogs over there, so please, if you've got some time to do some reading about some games, check out the website and check out the blog. Okay, enough rambling. This is already going to be quite a long video, so let's jump right into it with this sweet intro. Welcome back to the program, everybody. I'm going to skip the preamble because I have a lot to talk about over here. Basically, what you need to know is that every once in a while, I like to make videos that are called What I've Been Playing Lately. You can infer what that means from the title. We good? Unfortunately, as of late, my gaming has been kind of wax and wane lately. My gaming group has skipped some sessions, and as far as gaming here at my place, it's really been touch and go. So my gaming has really been a lot of solo games or games that I've been playing solo, except for the last one. I have 5 games to talk about today, which means we better just get rolling into it with the first game that I want to talk about. Now, this is a solo only game, a one-player game called Black Sonata. In Black Sonata, you are moving around a map. You are trying to find the dark lady that is hidden within Shakespeare's sonnets. Little history lesson, because this will probably be a history in game episode, so I'm going to keep it short. William Shakespeare, who was a bisexual, had sonnets that were written. Half of them, well, not half, but a good portion were about a guy, and the other portion were written about a dark lady. Nobody really knows her identity. There's probably about 8 or 9 suspects, but since everyone's dead, the 16th century was a long time ago, nobody knows for sure who the dark lady is. So in this game, you are moving around a little board, a tiny little board, trying to find where the dark lady is at to gain some clues about which one she could be of the 8 or 9 that are on the list. This is a hidden movement game that's a solo game, so I've never played a solo hidden movement game before. So the dark lady moves according to like a pre-programmed deck of cards, and you're trying to deduce, okay, where could she have gone? Very much akin to Fury of Dracula or Spectre Ops, except there's nobody on the other side of the table. The person that does the hidden movement, it's all done by like a deck that's pre-done that you assemble. My good buddy Liz Davidson, no relation, has a video, kind of like a playthrough video about this game. If you want to know more about it, I gotta move on. I gotta move on. So this is what I've been playing lately. I have beaten this one because there's some others I haven't beaten. But yeah, it's really good, really tense. The first couple of games that I lost were really tight. I highly recommend for solo play Black Sonata. Getting into the next game, which is also a solo-only game, is called Final Girl. Now, this is just the base game. You need more than this to actually play the game. This just gives you the components. This just gives you the components to play the game. Then you have to buy a bunch of modules. In Final Girl, you are playing, depending on the module you pick, a horror story where you are the final girl. There's a typical trope in horror movies that there's like one girl that always survives the end of the movie, or that has to take on the slasher, serial killer, poltergeist, what have you, at the end of the film. And this game replicates that feeling. You are the final girl. It's very customizable. There's lots of replayability. The modules that you pick, like you could pick the poltergeist one, or you could pick the camp one that's not Friday the 13th, but it's basically like there's someone going around a camp, summer camp, killing and slashing up people. You can mix and match the girls, the final girls. You can mix and match the villains. You can mix and match the settings. It's really cool. So yeah, it's a really cool system where you basically have to buy this. That's important because I made the mistake of buying this and not buying anything else, thinking I had a complete game. This is not a complete game. You buy this, buy some modules. There's like 4 or 5 of them out there. Plug whichever one you want into play and have fun. And hopefully you survive. The next game that I've been playing is also a solo-only game, and it's called Unbroken. This is an older game. It came out about probably 5 years ago, but just came on my radar about 5 months ago. So I'm late to the party, or late to the table, pun intended, and I've been playing Unbroken. This is one that I have not beat so far. I've played it a couple of times, and this one is really challenging. Anyways, in Unbroken, you have gone with a party into a dungeon. They have beat you up, like within an inch of your life left, and they've robbed you, stabbed you, kicked you in the head a few times, and they've left you for dead in a dungeon. So in this game, you wake up and you just realize like you've been wounded, you're in a dungeon, you need to fight your way out of the dungeon to get to the people that wronged you, so that you can, basically it's a revenge plot story and you can remain unbroken. Anyways, Unbroken is super hella tough. Like I said, I have not beaten it yet, but it's what I've been playing and it's what I've been enjoying. So I know this is an older game. This is probably people have already know about this or have played it. But yeah, you should check this one out. This one's definitely a challenge. The next game I've been playing is not a solo game. It actually plays 1 to 8. So that's quite different from what I've been talking about. And it's called On Tour. Here's the box. On Tour is a roll and write game. So roll and writes are incredibly popular. This game, thematically, you create a band, not literally create a band, you just give them a name, which is probably my favorite part of the game, is coming up with the band name. And then based on what you roll, number-wise, there is a map of the United States or Europe. This one did come with the Europe. I don't know if it's an expansion or not, but this one did come with Europe. And so you basically have to use those numbers to connect to certain spots on the map, and at the end of the game you have to be able to draw a line from the lowest number to the highest number. You can skip numbers in between. You can go from like 13 to 40, but everything from 13 and 40 is now eliminated, and it's like whoever can trace the longest path, because you get points for doing that, wins the game at the end. This is, like I said, it's a 1 to 8 player game. I've been playing it solo because I haven't really been having a whole lot of people to play. I have played this with 2 players a couple of times, and the game is exactly the same because it's not a really direct competitive game. There's no direct, like what I do affects the other person. It's kind of like bingo. You roll, you see what the numbers are, and then everyone looks at their own little board and goes da, 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 and does their thing. On Tour is super fun. It looks great. I love the look of this one and the colors, and just everything pops. Let me show you it's kind of an example of what it's supposed to look like. You see how you're kind of connecting like a snake. So that's how this one sort of plays. It's called On Tour. It's a roll and write. I really enjoy it. The last game that I'm going to talk about on this list I've been playing as 2-player because it is an only 2-player game. You can't play this one solo or with 3 people. It's only 2 players, and I did a video on it a couple of months back. It's called Caper, or Caper Europe. Sorry, it's full title, Caper Europe, because this is a re-implementation of an older game. I'm not going to talk much about this because you can go just check out my last video about Caper if you want to know more about it. But thematically, you are competing against the other person across the table. You're both thievery corporations going to different cities around Europe, stealing from these like iconic locations like the Eiffel Tower and things like that. It's a tug of war game. You're trying to influence at certain locations, influence marker towards yourself. They're pulling it back towards them. The game eventually is over and you score points. That's all I'm going to say about Caper Europe, because I have a whole video on it, so you can always go and check that one out. 5 games. Hopefully I kept the time limit on this video pretty small, as what I've been playing videos tend to go to like 20-30 minutes, and I knew I had 5 games to talk about, so it was like rush. Hopefully it paid off. So any of the games I've talked about, any of the games that you've seen, if you have any questions or if you've played them yourself and you want to leave a comment, leave a comment. Have you played these games? Do you like them? Have you beaten Unbroken? Because I haven't found a way to beat it yet. I always like to hear from you guys, and I always try to respond and get back to everybody and create kind of a dialogue if that's what happens. So that's everything. That's all that I have for us. Once again, my name is Andrew Davidson. You've been watching As Per My Ability, and I look forward to seeing each and every one of you at the next video.